Imagine this, you have everything you ever wanted. Wealth, status, luxury, and people who admire you. But deep down there's a void, a feeling of emptiness that no amount of success can fill. We see it all the time, celebrities with millions in their bank accounts, yet they struggle with depression. High achievers who feel restless despite their accomplishments. Why? Because the human soul was never designed to find true peace in material things. Allah reminds us in the Quran, verily, in the remembrance of Allah do hearts find rest. Surah Ar-Ra'd 13:28. But what does that really mean? And how do we truly achieve peace in our lives? Today we will explore how Islam gives us the ultimate answer. An answer that can transform your heart, your mind, and your entire existence. In today's world, success is often measured by wealth, power, and recognition. People chase careers, accumulate possessions, and seek validation from others, believing these will bring them happiness. But history, and even our own experiences, prove otherwise. Take the story of Qarun, a man who lived during the time of Prophet Musa, He was unimaginably wealthy. The keys to his treasures were so heavy that even a group of strong men could barely carry them. Yet despite his fortune, he was arrogant, ungrateful, and constantly seeking more. His wealth did not grant him peace, it became his downfall. Allah tells us in the Quran, "Do not exalt in your wealth, for Allah does not love those who exalt in riches." Surah Al-Qasas 28:76. True fulfillment does not come from accumulating the temporary, but from seeking something eternal. It comes from recognizing that our hearts were created for something greater, something beyond this world. And that realization leads us to our next question. What then is our true purpose? In today's world, success is often measured by wealth, status, and recognition. People chase after careers, luxury, and fame, believing that these will bring happiness. But how many times have we seen wealthy individuals, celebrities, and influential figures still struggling with anxiety, depression, and emptiness? Allah reminds us in the Quran, "Know that the life of this world is only play and amusement, pomp and mutual boasting among you, and rivalry in respect of wealth and children. But the life of this world is nothing but a deceiving enjoyment." On Surah Al-Hadid 57:20, a perfect example is Qarun, a man who was blessed with immense wealth during the time of Prophet Musa, as his treasures were so vast that even a group of strong men struggled to carry the keys to his wealth. Yet, instead of using his blessings to seek Allah's pleasure, he became arrogant and believed his success was due to his own intelligence and efforts. Eventually, Allah caused the earth to swallow him along with his wealth, proving that worldly riches without faith lead to destruction. Contrast this with the story of Prophet Muhammad who chose a life of simplicity despite having the opportunity to live in luxury. He slept on a mat, ate simple meals, and dedicated his life to serving others. Yet he was the most content and peaceful person because his heart was attached to Allah, not to the material world. True fulfillment does not come from chasing wealth, fame, or status. It comes from knowing that everything we have is from Allah and using it to serve Him. When we shift our mindset from seeking dunya, the world, to seeking akhirah, the hereafter, we find true peace, a peace that no amount of money can buy. Many people today feel lost, anxious, and disconnected despite having everything the world tells them they need. They try to fill the emptiness with distractions, social media, entertainment, relationships, but nothing seems to give them lasting peace. This is because the heart was created to be in constant remembrance of Allah. Allah tells us in the Quran, "Verily, in the remembrance of Allah do hearts find rest." Surah Ar-Ra'd 13:28. One of the greatest acts of worship that brings peace is salah, prayer. The Prophet Muhammad found comfort in prayer and would say, "O Bilal, call for prayer and give us rest by it." Abu Dawud, imagine this. A man who is stressed about his financial problems stands in prayer. At first, his mind is distracted by worries. But as he recites Surah Al-Fatiha, as he bows in ruku, and as his forehead touches the ground in sujud, he remembers that his sustenance comes from Allah alone, and suddenly his burdens feel lighter. Fasting is another powerful way to find peace. When we fast, we disconnect from our desires and strengthen our connection with Allah. We realize that we don't need excessive food, luxury, or distractions to feel whole. What we truly need is nearness to our Creator. Then there is dua, supplication, our direct line of communication with Allah. No matter what we are going through, raising our hands and pouring our hearts out to Him brings a sense of calm. He listens, He responds, and He never abandons His servants. Worship is not just a ritual. It is a path to real peace. The more we engage in it, the more our hearts become free from the chaos of this world and anchored in the tranquility of Allah's presence. One of the greatest struggles people face is uncertainty about the future. We plan, we hope, we work hard, but sometimes life doesn't go the way we expected. A job opportunity falls through, a relationship ends, or a personal goal seems out of reach. In these moments, many people feel lost, frustrated, or even hopeless. But Islam teaches us something powerful. True peace comes when we trust that Allah's plan is always better than our own, softer than our own. The Prophet Muhammad said, "Wondrous is the affair of the believer, for there is good in every matter of his, and this is not the case with anyone except the believer. If he is happy, he thanks Allah and there is good in it. If he is harmed, he shows patience and there is good in it." Muslim, look at the story of Prophet Musa as, when he was a baby, his mother was commanded to place him in a basket and set him afloat on the river. Can you imagine the fear and uncertainty she must have felt? Yet, she trusted Allah's command. And what happened? The river that could have drowned him carried him to the palace of Pharaoh, where he was raised safely under Allah's protection. This is tawakkul, trust in Allah. It means that no matter what we face, we surrender our worries to Allah, knowing that He is the best of planners. Sometimes, what seems like a failure or a setback is actually a step towards something greater. The job you lost may have been saving you from hardship. The person who left your life may have been blocking you from something better. The delay in your plans may be Allah's way of preparing you for something greater than you ever imagined. Inner peace comes when we stop resisting Allah's plan and start trusting in His wisdom. Whatever comes our way, we remind ourselves, Allah knows what is best for me, and I place my trust in Him. In today's world, success is often defined by wealth, status, and achievements. People chase after careers, social recognition, and material luxuries, thinking that these things will bring them happiness. But how many times have we seen wealthy and famous people who feel empty and unfulfilled? How many times have we ourselves achieved a goal, only to realize that the satisfaction is temporary? Islam gives us a different definition of success, one that is not based on temporary gains, but on something far greater, our relationship with Allah and our preparation for the hereafter. Allah reminds us in the Quran, "But you prefer the worldly life, while the hereafter is better and more lasting." Surah Al-Alala 87:16-17. This doesn't mean that we should abandon work, ambition, or financial success. Islam encourages us to strive for excellence in everything we do. But the key is balance. Our real purpose should not be to accumulate wealth, but to use what we have for the sake of Allah. The Prophet Muhammad taught us about true success when he said, "The most successful person is the one who remembers death often and prepares for it with good deeds." Ibn Majah. Let's take the example of Abdul Rahman ibn Auf, one of the richest companions of the Prophet. He was extremely wealthy, but he never let his wealth own his heart. He constantly gave in charity, supported the poor, and sought Allah's pleasure. He understood that his money was not a source of pride, but a test. This is the mindset of a believer. We work hard in this life, but our heart remains attached to Allah. We enjoy the blessings Allah gives us, but we never forget our real home is Jannah. We use our time, money, and abilities to serve a greater purpose, pleasing Allah and preparing for the Akhirah.